Alright, bro, we got them back, twin. Welcome back, my nigga. Ain't lie, been like 2 weeks, you feel me? But I have been on other channels and shit posted, so y'all can't even, you feel me? Today, I actually wanna watch this shit. It's called 10, what the fuck? Oh, this shit in the way. Oh, come on, fam.
Okay, if this one
Ain't even geeked up. But it just say 10 wrestlers who ruin a match on purpose. Gotta let get into this shit.
AI site builder you need to meet, this is dope tech from Wix.
Oh, y'all went to that main event shit bro, on Saturday, bro. They did Goldberg, yeah, dirty as hell.
All right, we'll take the table to them.
This is not going to be down.
They said, fuck that nigga to that.
Now, wrestling may be scripted, but that doesn't mean that every match
Damn,
goes
nigga.
according to plan. Whether it's out
Damn, I ain't even see that. Hold on.
may be scripted, but that
Nigga, he the one who sold that hoe, he get mad, bro. I don't want, I couldn't wait with this nigga back then, bro. We gonna really be fighting him, bro.
doesn't mean that every match goes according to
And then we gonna step on bro head, son.
plan. Whether it's out of frustration, disrespect, or just pure
Oh, this shit, I wanna fight that nigga in the ring, nigga.
rebellion, if
You ain't calling me stupid, nigga.
wrestlers have taken upon themselves to throw the script right out of the window, sabotaging matches live in front of stunned fans
That Kelly.
and furious promoters. Join us now as WrestleMania
Damn, but she smacked the fuck out.
looks at 10 wrestlers who ruined a match on purpose. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive links. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. Number 1, Owen Hart and Mick Foley. Did you know that Owen Hart and Mick Foley had a negative 5-star classic? Well, actually, they tried to, but failed spectacularly. Mick Foley revealed in his first book, Have a Nice Day, that he and Owen Hart heard that Wrestling Observer newsletter publisher Dave Meltzer was in attendance for a house show in San Jose and decided to rib the journalist by having the worst match
What
ever.
the fuck?
Could you imagine Mick Foley and Owen Hart having a terrible match? Well, these guys could wrestle a broomstick and make it look good, but Owen Hart was known as the King of Ribs. A former Intercontinental Champion played plenty of light-hearted jokes backstage, such as convincing Ahmed Johnson that he was going to be on The Tonight Show, to taking Yokozuna to Toilet City by giving him laxatives on a plane. But both men were
Man,
down
what
for
the
the plan,
fuck?
and so was Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was the special enforcer of the match. Now, unfortunately, there's no footage of the match itself, but reportedly Owen Hart and Mick Foley oversold every single move. There was even a ridiculous spot of Owen and Mick Foley hitting each other with popcorn bags. No one even did popcorn angels during the match. Dave Meltzer didn't have a single clue what was going on, but unfortunately for Foley and Hart, the wrestling journalist was quite entertained by their antics and didn't think that the match was anything close to a negative 5-star match.
So here's the thing. Like, I didn't know that they were doing that. I did watch the match and go, they took back the
That ain't like Jack Swagger.
took back the popcorn. That was like crazy. And it was absolutely awesome. Got over. And also, even those guys trying to be bad,
Exactly.
like they were still like it really wasn't like what I would call a bad. It was a ridiculous match. You know, it's like watching these guys in a comedy match, but they're talented guys. Like, it really wasn't anything
A
that was
comedy
like
match?
a negative star horrible match. It was a comedy match that got over. It got over with the crowd.
It's a shame that this match will never be seen by the masses because it sounds like a good time, even if this was trying to be the worst match ever.
Nigga, the
Number
match.
2, Ric Flair versus Bret Hart. Now, Bret Hart believes that Ric Flair has no in-ring psychology. The former WWE champion isn't shy about criticizing
I ain't doing that shit, bro. I'm tripping.
the Hall of Famer, and even though he does have respect for the Nature Boy, in Bret's book, Bret Hart, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, Hart described the first time working with Flair, and it wasn't a good
Nigga, not the best. You ain't got on pink.
analysis. I was looking forward to finding out whether he was the best worker in the business, as all the marks and wrestling
The Ric Flair, the GOAT, nigga. Now let me stop playing.
commentators generally declared.
Nigga, Vince McMahon, the GOAT, nigga.
Flair was what my dad called a routine man, because he did the same match every night, no matter who we worked with. He also liked to call every step of the match with little input from me. But according to Bret, after beating Flair for the WWE title,
He didn't even tap, man. What the
his
hell?
matches against the wrestling legend only got worse over time. Soon enough, I was launched on return bouts with Flair, who seemed bent on sabotaging our matches. Hart wasn't sure if Rick was doing it on purpose or by accident, but he would screw up Hart's comebacks and mess up finishes. I began to refer to Rick's
Corey
ring
know that
style
shit
as
was on
full
purpose.
blast, non-stop, non-psychology. He
What
made
the
things up on the
hell?
spot and did them whether they made sense or not. As a technician, Flair was one of the best, but I was baffled by how little he really knew about building a great match, and was baffled by how this went undetected by fans and sheet writers who continued to worship him. But this issue with Hart and Flair wasn't one-sided, as the former world champion didn't think that Bret was the great wrestler that many fans felt he was. Personally, I never saw dollar
Damn.
signs on Bret Hart. He was a good, sound, physical wrestler, but with limited charisma and interview skills. He could also be the
Damn.
president of his own fan club. Bret truly thought he was the best technical wrestler who ever lived. He was stuck in a routine that he refused to break. Every well-known wrestler has patented things that he does in his matches, but you can still entertain your fans
Oh,
by
damn.
putting those things in different spots or doing them in different ways. If I tried adding things to Bret's comeback, like hitting him with a chop, he couldn't stand it. He had to be in rotation. But don't get me wrong, Bret could have a tremendous match when it really counted, but day to day I found him to be inflexible. Now it's clear that both men weren't fans of one another. Bret and Ric Flair have been taking pot
Hey,
shots
man,
at one
niggas.
another ever since the early 90s. Bret has publicly called Flair overrated. However, he thinks that a reported incident before him and Flair behind the scenes
Shit, they
resulted in the
shit. Yeah, they both underrated. I
Hall
mean,
of Fame and
overrated.
trying to sabotage him. Bret was frustrated with a series of bad matches he was having against Flair, so he went to talk to Vince about it. Vince reportedly told Bret Hart to speak up because he was in charge now. So Bret did
Nigga, Hornswoggle the goat, nigga.
and said something on the lines of, "I'm champ now." That was in front of the entire locker room, and Bret feels that Flair never forgot about that moment. Whatever the case may be, it's a shame that the two of the best in the world couldn't really see eye to eye.
Nigga,
Flair
not the
does
best.
acknowledge
I
that he
ain't
did
gonna lie.
have good matches against Bret Hart when he won the title in '92, as Bret revealed that Ric Flair was going through personal issues at the time as well as depression, but it feels like a good amount of ego could have gotten the best of them. Sometimes great wrestlers don't always result in great matches. Number 3,
What the
Shawn Michaels
fuck?
versus Hulk Hogan. Yep, probably the most infamous match of all. Now, to put into context, the build to this match was great. Shawn Michaels cut a memorable heel promo trolling Montreal, and Shawn did an amazing job to get the people to boo him in a matter of weeks. Reportedly, the original plan for Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan was set to have 2 matches starting at SummerSlam. Hulk Hogan was scheduled to win the first one, and then Shawn Michaels the last. But that didn't work for Hulk Hogan, brother. Now, as you can imagine, Shawn wasn't thrilled about
We coming for you, nigga.
that. There was no exact reasoning why Hogan opted out to doing multiple matches with Michaels, but the former WWE champion is known for his selfishness and refusal to put others over. He notably refused to put over Hart, Jeff Jarrett, Randy Orton, and the Ultimate Warrior at Halloween Havoc. The excuse
Damn,
he
not
gave
really
for not
one.
wanting to do a second match was that he was injured, but Michaels likely didn't buy it. At this point, it was too late to change the match, so instead, Michaels oversold nearly every move possible in the most comedic way ever. Hogan kept it straight and continued forward with the match as planned, but Michaels' overselling turned a serious match into a comedy act with loads of prank Shawn has denied
Imagine the niggas there swing. I would have been laughing so hard, bro.
purposely trying to sabotage the match itself, as Michaels claimed that he sold the same way he did in the 90s. I can't even be a bad guy anymore with people thinking that there's a part of me that's really bad. Even the
Bro, I
match
wanna
itself
see that
got blown
match,
out of
bro.
proportion,
What the
because that
fuck?
confirmed to me that I made the right choice in never trying to be a heel again, because that's the way I sold when I was a heel. And fast forward to 2005, and now that's considered
Bro, he's lying,
overselling.
bro.
Now overall, the match is a mixed bag for everyone. Some fans find it wildly entertaining, and
This
others are
nigga
happy to be
lying, bro. Who the fuck
overselling.
doing all
Hogan
that?
fits in the latter. He was reportedly pissed about Michaels overselling, but like the Heartbreak Kid went into business for himself. Whatever the case may be,
Type business is that? See, he's selling shit. But, so I probably did the same shit. Fuck Hogan, nigga.
Michaels versus Hogan is a match that nobody will ever forget, but too bad it's for the wrong reasons. Number 4, Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar. Now, whether you love him or hate him, Brock Lesnar is one of the best wrestlers in the world. When the Beast doesn't care about a match, you can easily tell. That's where Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar comes in from WrestleMania 32. Despite some fire promos
They
between
fought,
Lesnar
bro.
and Ambrose, the
What the fuck?
build was quite lackluster.
Ugh.
Still, fans were intrigued to see what Ambrose and Lesnar could do together, and it turned out to be a huge
A fucking
disappointment.
chainsaw
Moxley had
game?
been voicing his issues about working with Brock, and from his perspective,
This nigga overrated, gang. Nigga bought a chainsaw, bro. What the fuck?
perspective, Lesnar just didn't see any value in their match. Neither did Vince or any of the previous.
This nigga be trying to make this shit a Mortal Kombat match out this hoe. You see what he doing at AEW, nigga? Poking a nigga eyes out and shit with needles and shit. I know y'all seen that shit.
During an interview with Wade Keller, Moxley went into detail about the complications he had during the
Just
build-up.
He didn't want to be there. I mean, he put in the, like, in the weeks leading up, I'm like, because this thing is a street fight. It's not like a match we just call it a ring. It's a street fight at WrestleMania. So we got to get stunts approved, set up. We got to get the right props for table bumps. So that's what we're going to do, you know? And, you know, I said all this stuff to everybody, all the producers, and I feel like I'm just getting ignored. Because, like, our match wasn't important to any of the producers or writers or Vince. They gave me enough to give me the match,
I believe it.
but they didn't give me any help to, like, make it a good angle or, like, make it, like, a hotter thing people want to see. And then, you know, can we do this? Can we do this? Can we, all these different stunts and stuff. Like, I'm going to just die in the ring. I'm like, I'm going to just take the worst. I'm not trying to put Brock through abuse. I'm trying to take the worst beating in the history of the world. Like, I'm ready to be, I'm like, if he kills me, great, I'll go down as a legend. I was ready to do anything. But the weeks leading up,
I ain't gonna lie though. See, he coulda really did some shit. Coulda shit he doing now. Shit, he down there down in the ring, nigga. He got what he wanted. Ain't gonna lie, I wanna see that. Cause I ain't even know they fought, but like, they had goddamn. The way I'm looking from them clips in this video, bro, like they weren't doing shit. Can this shit start? Nigga? Fuck.
the angle's not good. Brock's not even there half the time. We don't do anything interesting.
And Moxley has gone on record and called Lesnar lazy. Meanwhile, Brock Lesnar has
Damn.
never talked about the former WWE champion. However, his former advocate Paul Heyman addressed Moxley's comments. He cited that the former WWE star had attitude problems and dismissed the notion that Brock Lesnar was quote-unquote lazy.
Anybody who thinks that Brock Lesnar is lazy is not taking a look at the right circumstances. Come on, lazy?
Yeah.
Lazy got him to an NCAA Division I heavyweight championship. Lazy
I like
had
him on
him
that.
knock out Randy Couture in his fourth MMA fight, the greatest heavyweight champion of all
310,
time in
nigga.
UFC.
Now, it's not clear if Brock Lesnar intentionally tried
If I
to
was
do
Brock
the
Lesnar,
match,
I'd
but
be
it's
better
clear that
than
he
that
was
nigga.
invested in it. When a wrestler isn't invested into
He
a
not
match,
using
then they
that
tend to put less than 100%. Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose could have had something special, but instead, they had a very disappointing match on the grandest stage of them all. Number 5, Bruiser Brody versus Lex Luger. Now, this was another strange match, but
Yeah,
nothing
nigga,
too
what
out
the
of the
fuck?
ordinary for Bruiser Brody. The Legacy Hall of Famer is certainly deserving of his legendary status thanks to his feuds against the Sheik, as well as Terry and Dory Funk, but Brody was well known for his tendency not to sell, going majorly off script. And that eventually became part of his persona in his final years of wrestling. But it wasn't just that Brody would refuse to not sell, he would often change the finish of the match or refuse to job altogether. It really wasn't the easiest man to work with in the ring. His infamous cage match against Lex Luger is a prime example of this. The WWE Hall of Famers had a steel cage match in January '87 in Florida, but out of nowhere, Brody just stopped selling for Luger. If Luger punched him, he just stood there. If Luger grappled with him, he just stood there. Lex Luger had no idea what to do. Brody just stopped working and time stood still for Luger. He was the upcoming star at this time, so we didn't particularly know what to do
That
in the
nigga went through a
situation.
goddamn
Luger
goddamn
and referee had
crisis
to call an
mid-match.
audible and simply end the match via disqualification because they didn't know how to keep going. What's interesting is that Luger confronted Brody calmly after the match. The Hall of Famer instantly apologized because he thought he did something wrong. But Brody kind of blew off the situation and told Luger not to worry about it. According to Luger, he didn't really explain why he just stopped selling. He just said that it didn't work and there was a long day. I guess that clears that up. But rumors had circulated that the reason Brody stopped selling for Luger was because he didn't particularly have any respect for him. According to Ted DiBiase, Brody didn't feel that Luger
Big. It's a big deal. You get 1 medium hot or iced coffee and 2 delicious wake-up wraps. It's the biggest deal in
This shit
breakfast.
bullshitting,
It's
bro.
Dunkin's.
earned his position, and he didn't take too kindly to calling spots backstage for the match. This is something for the veterans. Like Shawn Michaels and Hogan, this match is certainly infamous, but for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, that's
Number
the
6,
funniest
Hulk
shit.
Hogan versus Kevin Nash.
Hulk Hogan again, bro.
Yep, this again. It's pretty much agreed upon that the later years of WCW were
The fuck
horrendous.
is that?
That's putting it kindly. Of course, some genius came up with the great idea of having a WCW World Title match between Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan.
He
On
coming
paper,
for
this
you,
sounded like a great
nigga.
idea, but it wouldn't be on this list if the execution was great. But this is the
He
infamous
coming for
Big Hogan
you.
Doom spot, when Nash and
He
Hogan
coming
pretended
for
that they were going to
you.
fight, but trolled the entire
He
world by
coming
having
for
Hogan
you.
gently pop Kevin Nash and getting a 3 count.
Yo.
Forget David Arquette winning the WCW World Heavyweight title, this moment made the belt look completely worthless. WCW tried to save the segment with a Goldberg beatdown, but nothing could erase the embarrassing moment that preceded it. Number 6, Hulk Hogan versus Jeff Jarrett. And it seems to be one golden
Nigga, that's the ultimate berry, nigga.
with a Goldberg beatdown, but nothing could erase the
That
embarrassing
nigga got
moment that
poked.
preceded it. Number 6,
Hell
Hulk
no.
Hogan versus
Bro, again, fam. Bro, come on, bro.
Jarrett. And it seems to be one
I knew this nigga was on some bullshit, man.
golden rule in wrestling. Never give Hulk Hogan full creative control. That was a mistake that WCW made, and the WWE Hall of Fame
coming for
made selfish
you.
moves like this. Jeff Jarrett was the WCW World Heavyweight Champion, and he was supposed to beat Hulk Hogan. As you can guess, Hogan refused to do the job and went out of his way to get creative to change the match finish. They did, and it led to one of the most embarrassing moments of WCW history. Jarrett
Sure.
simply came out to the ring, and as soon as the bell rang, he lay down on the mat so Hogan could get his win.
Nigga,
Vince
what
Russo
the
was at
fuck?
ringside and instructed the entire thing. Then Hogan grabbed a mic and stated, "That's why this company is in the damn shape it's in, because of bullshit like this." Hogan then put his boot on Jarrett's chest and then got the 3 count, but he wasn't happy about what transpired. That wasn't it. Vince Russo also grabbed a mic and cut a profanity-laced promo on Hulk Hogan. The overall match was pointless because Russo ultimately gave Jarrett the world title back to defend against Booker T later that
He
evening.
coming for
They tried to make
you.
this a storyline, but it didn't work.
Nigga.
Shoot angles can only work if done correctly, but this segment shattered an all-important illusion about pro wrestling. We're supposed to believe that these matches are legit like MMA or boxing, but it exposes the predetermined process of wrestling and also the disgusting politics that played a part in wins and losses. Nobody came out looking good here. Bash at the Beach was supposed to be the crowning moment for Booker T, who beat Jeff Jarrett for the real WCW World Heavyweight title, but it was overshadowed by this controversial segment that further damaged
Damn, Pogo doing
WCW.
it.
Number 8, Jeff Hardy versus Sting. A TNA wrestling under Vince
Oh,
Russo
see,
has a lot of,
I'm
moments. I
Video,
don't mean it in a good
yeah.
way. However, one of the most infamous moments was Jeff Hardy versus Sting at Victory Road 2011. Jeff Hardy's history with drugs and alcohol are well documented, but this was the first real time that we saw him intoxicated on live television, and you could tell something wasn't right as Hardy made his entrance. The title match was scheduled to go on longer, but Jeff's impaired state made it impossible.
Hey, fuck it. This shit just kept the match going, nigga. Fuck it, bro. Like, why they stop it, bro? Shit. Like, he could have wrestled. You see, I mean, he came out the ring, twin. I mean, he came out the goddamn, what they call that shit? The gorilla, twin. He could have still got down, you feel me? But I don't give a fuck, bro. It beat, bro. Niggas was saying back then in the NBA they was got there smoking crack, nigga. Like, I'm pretty sure these got there wrestlers got there smoking something before they start playing.
So Eric Bischoff will come out before
Like, these niggas ain't fucking perfect, nigga.
the bell rang and told Jeff the match changes. The bout was rather simple once the bell rang as Jeff taunted the crowd by
All tripping though, he was goddamn tripping.
giving him a shirt.
That nigga forgot he was a heel. Big laugh.
A few punches from Sting and a scorpion death drop, that which lasted all of 90 seconds. You can see the disappointment in Sting's face when the crowd chanted bullshit as he mouthed, "I know."
I
Now, in
would've been mad
reality,
as
this
shit.
wasn't the first time that Jeff had been too intoxicated to perform, as Hardy was reportedly hammered backstage at the Final Resolution pay-per-view, and TNA officials almost stripped him of the title. On one of these occasions, him being impaired caused him to miss his mark on a chair shot and gave Ken Anderson a concussion. There were a ton of warning signs that something was
Oh,
wrong
that shit was real, nigga.
with Jeff Hardy, but TNA turned
I
up the
remember
blind
that
eye
shit.
and
They
was
used
at
that shit
risk
as
in
a
the
work.
process. Thankfully, Jeff Hardy now seems to be in a better headspace
Enlighten Jeff, big laugh.
these days and is currently representing
Producers, this plugin helps you finish your tracks way
That nigga found the light head ass.
faster. Check this out. I'm gonna start with this loop that I made here.
it in TNA in the tag team division. It's great that the former WWE legend has finally gotten over his addiction. Number 9, Angelo Dominio versus Kervo. This is one of the scariest spots in the last decade or so. During a co-promotional lucha event in 2018, the two wrestlers were having a casket
I'm a
match and
real
everything was
luchador.
going to plan. But But Dominion was pissed about the hard chair shots from his opponent and decided to give his opponent a brutal receipt. But that receipt was him throwing a real concrete brick on the back of
What
his
the
head.
fuck?
Ray immediately went stiff and went face first to the floor.
Oh my god, bro, what the hell?
Wrestler goes stiff and face first to the floor where he's checked on by officials and he
Nah, he would have died, nigga.
regains consciousness and is helped to the back, while Dominion bizarrely eliminates himself to end their casket match. But thankfully, he
What the fuck?
survived the assault and is still wrestling until this very day. But Dominion was barely punished for his crimes. What he did was attempted murder,
Oh god, bro, he threw a brick at this nigga twin. What the fuck?
and he tried to claim that it was an accident and that his opponent
Accident gang, come on,
was in
bro.
the wrong position, but nobody bought it. For
Nigga
34
threw
days,
a-
he was blacklisted from professional wrestling. That's it. The entire brick throwing actually became his gimmick, and promoters tried to sell the real life incident to sell tickets. It's one of the more disgusting parts of professional
Hell
wrestling.
no.
A professional wrestler who's been in the business for more than 30 years let his temper get the better of him, and nothing happens to him.
Bro,
Number
what
10,
the
Earthquake
fuck?
versus Koji Katawa. The WWE held a pay-per-view with Super World as
That's why some niggas can't wrestle, bro. They don't get mad, cause you do gotta goddamn get hit and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got, that what you signed up for though? Paul
World
Block.
Wrestle Dream on April 1st, 1991. The show had Bret Hart battling George Takano and Hulk Hogan versus Yoshiaki
Oh, here we go
Yatsu
with
for
this
the
like
WWE
that.
Championship. One match that people only remember is Earthquake versus Koji. The strange thing about this match is that it wasn't the first time that Koji and Earthquake worked together.
What
On
the
April
hell?
1st, Koji had no interest in having a good match. Koji's temper flared up after he threw the announcer's table at the ring, and the match consisted of them smacking
that
each
hoe.
other's hands and pacing around the ring. You could see the frustration on Earthquake's face.
Man, what that nigga?
Even shouting,
Queso.
"This was pro wrestling." The match went completely off script and ended when Koji kicked
What the
referee,
hell?
causing a DQ. He stormed out of the ring hot and grabbed a mic and then dropped the infamous F-bomb, labeling wrestling as fake before charging right to the back. Koji had a reputation
What?
for unprofessional behavior. Just before his match with Earthquake, Koji was fired from New Japan Pro Wrestling and expelled from sumo due to his attitude. It's still unclear why he lost his temper so quickly. But there you have it, folks. 10 wrestlers
He
who
was sick of
ruined
that
the match
shit,
on
man.
purpose.
Man, y'all niggas got that like, subscribe, man. Y'all niggas think about this shit, man. The bit dropped 2 days ago. Hopefully, goddamn. Shit, don't nobody be reacting to this type of shit, so I don't think shit. Besides, they goddamn WrestleMania, man. Goddamn, like, y'all niggas goddamn like, subscribe. I'm glad I'm back, my nigga. Come on. We out this bitch.